Disclaimer. This video is just for entertainment and educational purposes only. Visit or consult a qualified physician for any official medical advice on this subject matter. Scientific examples of the placebo effect. The placebo effect is one of the most fascinating demonstrations of how belief and expectation can produce real physiological changes in the body, even when no active treatment is provided. This phenomenon has been extensively studied in various medical fields, providing robust scientific evidence that consciousness can influence physical reality, an idea closely aligned with quantum principles like the observer effect. The placebo effect. The placebo effect refers to the phenomenon where people experience real improvements in their health simply because they believe they are receiving treatment, even if the treatment has no active ingredients or therapeutic effect. This suggests that our minds can influence our physical bodies in ways that aren't entirely understood, pointing to the possibility that belief, perception, and consciousness play significant roles in our health. 1. Placebo surgery for knee pain. Mosley et al. 2002. Study. Dr. Bruce Mosley, an orthopedic surgeon, conducted a groundbreaking study on patients with severe knee osteoarthritis. The patients were divided into 3 groups. Group 1 underwent actual arthroscopic surgery. Group 2 received a procedure where damaged tissue was flushed out. And Group 3 received a sham surgery. The surgeon made incisions but performed no real procedure inside the knee. Results. Surprisingly, the sham surgery group reported equal or even greater improvements in pain relief and mobility compared to the groups that had real surgery. This effect lasted for up to 2 years. As implication, the belief that they had surgery was enough to trigger actual physiological changes, reducing pain and improving function, despite no mechanical intervention. 2. Placebo effect in depression. Kirsch et al. 2008. Study. A meta-analysis conducted by Irving Kirsch and colleagues analyzed data from clinical trials on antidepressant medications, including unpublished studies submitted to the FDA. Findings. Up to 75 to 82% of the improvement in patients taking antidepressants was attributed to the placebo effect, not the drug's active ingredients. The difference between the actual drug and placebo was clinically insignificant for most patients with mild to moderate depression. Implication. This suggests that expectation of healing plays a massive role in mood disorders, influencing brain chemistry through belief alone. 3. Placebo injections for Parkinson's disease. Benedetti et al. 2004. Study. Dr. Fabrizio Benedetti, a leading researcher in placebo neuroscience, conducted a study on patients with Parkinson's disease, a condition characterized by the loss of dopamine-producing neurons. As procedure, patients were injected with a saline solution, told it was a drug that would improve their symptoms. Results. Brain scans showed a significant release of dopamine after the placebo injection, despite no actual drug being administered, and patients exhibited reduced tremors and improved motor control. Implication. The belief that they were receiving treatment activated real neurochemical changes, enhancing dopamine production. 4. Open-label placebo, no deception involved. IBS study, Kapchuk et al., 2010. Study. Dr. Ted Kapchuk at Harvard Medical School explored whether the placebo effect works even when patients know they're taking a placebo. All participants, patients with irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, were divided into 2 groups. One group received a placebo pill clearly labeled as placebo with no active ingredient. The control group received no treatment. As results, patients knowingly taking the placebo reported significant symptom relief comparable to standard IBS treatments. Their quality of life improved and discomfort levels decreased. Implication. The placebo effect is not just about deception, it's about the ritual of treatment, the expectation of healing, and the power of belief. 5. The nocebo effect, negative belief causing harm. Case study. In one striking example, a man in a clinical trial for depression overdosed on what he thought was an experimental antidepressant. He collapsed with dangerously low blood pressure and severe symptoms, believing he was dying. In reality, he had accidentally overdosed on sugar pills, placebo. When the truth was revealed, his symptoms immediately disappeared. A nocebo effect. The opposite of the placebo effect, the nocebo effect occurs when negative expectations cause harmful physical symptoms. It shows how belief can produce both healing and harm. 6. Placebo and immune response. Adair and Cohen, 1975. Study. Robert Adair and Nicholas Cohen conducted an experiment with rats, pairing a sweet-tasting solution with an immunosuppressive drug that reduced immune function. Procedure. After several pairings, the drug was removed and only the sweet solution was given. And despite no drug being present, the rats' immune systems were still suppressed, purely due to the association and expectation created by previous conditioning. Human application. Similar studies in humans have shown that belief and expectation can modulate immune responses, influencing conditions like allergies, asthma, and even the body's response to infections. 7. Placebo effect on heart disease. The Courage Trial, 2007. Study. The Courage Trial compared two groups of heart disease patients. One group received angioplasty, a procedure to open blocked arteries. The other received medication and lifestyle advice without any surgical intervention. The results. After 5 years, both groups had similar outcomes in terms of heart attacks and survival rates. And patients who believed strongly in their treatment, even without surgery, experienced greater symptom relief. Implication: the belief in being actively treated, regardless of the procedure, contributed to improved heart health. 8. Color and shape of pills. Influence placebo response. Study. Research shows that the color, size, and shape of placebo pills affect how effective people believe they are. The red, yellow, and orange pills are perceived as more stimulating. Blue and green pills are seen as more calming. Larger pills, or those perceived as more medicinal, often have a stronger placebo effect. Implication: the placebo effect is not just about the substance but the symbolism, ritual, and expectation associated with the treatment. How does the placebo effect work? While the placebo effect is still not fully understood, several mechanisms have been identified. 1. Expectation. Believing that a treatment will work activates brain regions involved in pain relief, mood regulation, and motor control. 2. Conditioning. Past experiences with effective treatments create associations that trigger real physiological responses. 3. Endorphin release. Placebos can stimulate the release of endorphins, natural painkillers in the brain. 4. Neurochemical changes. Changes in dopamine, serotonin, and other neurotransmitters have been observed in placebo responses. Placebo effect and quantum sciences. The placebo effect aligns with quantum principles in fascinating ways. Observer effect. Just as observation collapses quantum possibilities into reality, the belief in healing collapses potential health outcomes into a specific physical reality. At mind-body connection, quantum entanglement shows how non-local connections exist. Similarly, consciousness, non-material, influences the body, material, suggesting a deeper interconnectedness beyond traditional biological explanations. Quantum science and consciousness. In quantum mechanics, particularly in some interpretations of the theory, there's the suggestion that consciousness might influence the way quantum systems behave. One example is the observer effect, which suggests that the act of measurement or observation can affect the outcome of an experiment at the quantum level. This has led to speculations that human consciousness might play a role in how reality manifests or collapses from a range of possibilities into one definite state. How it might connect. Mind-body connection. In both the placebo effect and quantum theories, there's a suggestion that consciousness has the ability to influence physical reality. If we accept that quantum mechanics suggests consciousness can play a role in shaping our experience of the world, it could be possible, though not proven, that the mind-body connection seen in the placebo effect might have some quantum underpinning, where the brain's perception or belief somehow collapses the body's state in a way that promotes healing. Intention and reality. Some quantum theories, particularly in the field of quantum consciousness, like those suggested by figures like Roger Penrose, propose that consciousness itself might be tied to quantum processes. If this idea holds, the act of someone believing in their healing or having the intention to heal could, in some abstract sense, be influencing quantum-level processes in the body, like signaling pathways or molecular reactions, which would then manifest as physical health improvements. Non-locality and connectedness. Another interesting thread is the idea of quantum entanglement, where two particles can be linked in such a way that the state of one particle instantly affects the state of another, no matter the distance between them. Some have speculated that human consciousness could be entangled in some way, allowing for non-local connections between people, or even between mind and body. This could help explain the spontaneous healing or effects that we associate with the placebo effect, where belief or emotional state somehow creates a ripple effect through the body or in the mind-body connection. While the analogy is compelling, it's important to note that these connections between quantum mechanics and the placebo effect are still largely speculative. There's no concrete scientific proof that quantum mechanics directly explains how the placebo effect works. The placebo effect is largely understood in psychological and neurobiological terms, related to the brain's capacity to influence the body through belief and expectation. Nonetheless, the way quantum mechanics challenges our understanding of reality, where possibilities exist in multiple states until observed, does offer a thought-provoking lens through which to explore how belief, expectation, and consciousness might shape our experiences and even influence health outcomes. Let's delve into some real-life examples. 1. Placebo effect in medicine. Example: pain relief through sugar pills. A classic example of the placebo effect is when patients are given sugar pills or inert treatments like saline injections, but believe they're receiving a real medicine. Despite the treatment having no actual pharmacological effect, many patients report feeling relief from symptoms like pain, depression, or fatigue. This suggests that belief, expectation, or mindset can trigger real physiological changes, like the release of endorphins that alleviate symptoms. Quantum connection. If we consider the quantum idea that consciousness can affect the outcome of experiments, like in the observer effect, one might speculate that a patient's belief could collapse the quantum state of their body's pain perception into a healed state. While there's no direct quantum explanation, the act of focusing on healing or expecting improvement could shift a person's experience of pain on a fundamental, perhaps quantum level. Key insight. The placebo effect shows that consciousness can influence the body's state, much like how quantum systems exist in multiple potential states until observed. A person's focused attention or belief may collapse the possibility of illness into a state of wellness. 2. Healing and mind-body connection. Example: the role of meditation in physical health. There are studies showing that practices like meditation or mindfulness can lower blood pressure, reduce stress hormones like cortisol, and even boost the immune system. These effects occur not because of a physical drug, but because the mind is altering its perception of stress or pain, influencing the body's response to it. Quantum connection. From a quantum perspective, these changes could be seen as the mind affecting the body's quantum processes, like neural pathways, chemical signaling, and even molecular reactions, possibly in ways that science has yet to fully explore. Just as quantum particles can be influenced by observation or interaction, the mind could influence the way the body processes stress or heals by altering its internal quantum state. Key insight. The mind's intention or focus on a desired state, relaxed, stress-free, healed, could be viewed through a quantum lens as the mind influencing the quantum states within the body. This isn't a proven mechanism, but it opens up the possibility that our consciousness might directly affect our physical state. 3. Non-local consciousness and remote healing. Example: distance healing or remote prayer. In some spiritual and healing traditions, there's a belief in the power of distant healing, where a person's prayer, intention, or positive energy can affect the health of another person, even at a distance. For example, a study in 2001 suggested that people who were prayed for, even by strangers, showed better outcomes after surgery than those who weren't prayed for. Although this is still debated, it raises questions about the potential non-local nature of consciousness. Quantum connection. Quantum entanglement is the idea that two particles can be entangled, meaning the state of one particle can instantaneously affect the state of the other, even if they're far apart. Some have suggested that human consciousness could function in a similar way, where the mind or intention could have an effect beyond normal physical limits, connecting people, events, or even particles across space and time. In this framework, distant healing or prayer could be a form of quantum entanglement of consciousness, where intentions or positive thoughts influence the health of others, even from afar. Key insight. Just as quantum entanglement shows a connection that transcends physical distance, the idea of non-local consciousness suggests that thoughts, intentions, or prayers could have a tangible effect on people or events far from the sender, perhaps due to an interconnected quantum field of consciousness. 4. Intention and reality in personal transformation. Example: transformative change through belief and mindset. There are countless anecdotal examples of people transforming their lives or health by simply changing their mindset. For instance, individuals who believe they can improve their fitness, quit smoking, or overcome depression often experience profound changes in their physical and mental health as a result of their belief in their ability to change. Quantum connection. In quantum mechanics, particles exist in multiple states, superposition, until they are observed or measured. The idea is that consciousness or observation can cause a particular state to collapse into one definite outcome. Applying this idea metaphorically to human experience, one could imagine that if a person believes they can transform their health or life, they might collapse their potential states of being, like sickness or failure, into one of health or success. The mind's intention could collapse the infinite possibilities into a reality aligned with their belief. Key insight. This connects with the quantum idea of potentiality, where many outcomes exist until we make a choice or shift our perception. By setting an intention or altering our belief, we might collapse our reality into one where change is possible, in the same way that quantum states collapse into a specific outcome based on observation. 5. Mind over matter and healing. Example: the role of belief in spontaneous remissions. Some individuals who were diagnosed with terminal illnesses have reported spontaneous remissions, where they seemingly heal without conventional medical intervention. While the scientific community doesn't fully understand why these events occur, there are cases where patients change in attitude, belief in their healing, or a shift in their emotional or mental state seems to coincide with their recovery. Quantum connection. From a quantum perspective, this could be seen as a collapse of potential illness states into a healed state based on the patient's perception or belief. Similar to how quantum particles shift based on measurement, a person's shift in belief or consciousness could cause a collapse into a new, healthier state. It's as if the mind can influence the probability of a particular outcome, just like the quantum world's probabilities collapse into reality. Key insight. In both quantum mechanics and human health, the possibility of multiple outcomes exists, and consciousness or belief could be the catalyst that collapses those possibilities into a specific reality. A positive shift in belief or mindset might open the door for healing, much like observation influences quantum states. Conclusion. While we don't yet have concrete scientific evidence that quantum mechanics directly explains the placebo effect or consciousness-driven healing, there are intriguing parallels. Both quantum mechanics and the placebo effect point to the potential power of the mind to influence the physical world. In quantum science, observation can change the state of a particle. In the placebo effect, belief and expectation can change the state of a person's health. The mind, through intention or belief, may have a more profound influence on reality than we fully understand, perhaps shaping outcomes at both the quantum level and in our physical bodies. These examples illustrate how the mind and consciousness may play a larger role in shaping our experiences and health than traditional models suggest, opening up exciting possibilities for future exploration. While the placebo effect and quantum science aren't directly linked by current scientific evidence, the potential for consciousness to influence reality, whether through the mind-body connection or quantum phenomena, offers a fascinating lens to explore how belief, perception, and expectation might shape our health and experience. Does any of this resonate with you? Be sure to do more of your own research and never take anything at face value. Personal experience of a thing, give it a value only you can appreciate for yourself. Be your own change and truth.